What's going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite, and today we're going to be talking about all secrets and Easter eggs in the Mercenaries of Fortune event, 2 unlockable camos, and even the new challenges. Definitely stay tuned. But before we jump into that, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below, drop a like, and make sure you have notifications on to stay up to date with everything going on in Cold War 2, Warzone, Modern Warfare 2, Vanguard, and any other future Call of Duty as well. Now, we did get a tweet from Ted Timmons, a senior creative director over at Raven, who of course works on Warzone, who said, and I quote, "I also love the fact that Warzone Season 4 remain largely a surprise, and that the leaks were either wrong or non-existent. There's something special about players hearing the stories when they are ready to be told. I hope as an industry we improve at preserving that." And you know my personal stance on that topic altogether, unless you guys are new to the channel, I typically say, look, when it comes to spicy info and early details on like bundles or cosmetics, nothing crazy, that never hurts, that builds some hype, right? But I absolutely love when there are surprises about actual new maps and story quests and Easter eggs, all of that stuff. So we are going to be playing as Stitch here in the gameplay, as you will see, considering the map takes place in 1976, coincidentally the same year that Stitch gets broken out of Rebirth by some Perseus agents. Maybe that'll be explored at some point in a future Warzone season. But starting off with the first Easter egg, dealing with a throwing knife and a watermelon. So yes, you want to go exactly over here, as you can see, at any point throughout your match. I highly recommend doing this at the beginning of your Fortune's Keep games, and you can actually pick up a throwing knife right here stuck to this watermelon, pick it up, go here inside, and just throw it at the dartboard. It is that simple. That will then open a door right next to you, in which there are a ton of legendary blueprints in that room. It's a very quick way towards getting some good loot right at the start of your match. I think it's really cool that Fortune's Keep right off the bat is like, all right, let's throw in like 5 or 6 Easter eggs on top of the Mercenaries of Fortune event, which features 8 other challenges. I'm a huge fan of that. I would hope to see even more whenever Warzone 2 comes out later this fall. But this one just got found this morning. It was brought to my attention that Geeky Pastimes and his squad actually first discovered this, so bravo to them. Now, next up we have the Graveyard Easter egg. So this one is fairly simple, and I believe it's probably one of the easier Easter eggs to do in this map. Hop over here into the graveyard and you'll find 3 candles that you have to interact with. You'll find them here in the mausoleums. You'll see them right here on like these shelves. Just interact with all 3 of them, and that's it. I mean, keep in mind, graveyard could be a pretty nasty hot drop at the start of your match of Fortune's Keep, so be aware of where the enemies are at. Grab a couple of weapons on your way to these candles and just watch your back. Once you do that, you can go over here and hit Pay Respects, in which a zombie will then spawn, an armored zombie to be exact. Just light him up with everything you got, and once he drops, he will then drop some decent loot for you. So it's a pretty cool Easter egg, and it's like our first zombies Easter egg in Warzone in quite some time. I think it's the first zombies Easter egg since, what, the Outbreak event in Verdansk, or the Nuke event shortly after that. It was really awesome to see this, so for zombies fans out there, here you go. Keep in mind, you are able to hit Pay Respects before you even touch the candles, but nothing will happen. You have to touch the candles first, and then you can hit Pay Respects to spawn the zombie there. We then have a magical fountain near the Winery, and all you want to do is make sure you have a decent amount of change on you, and by that I mean have a good 5-10k. I've heard people out there say that have at least minimum 5k to get the best reward, and I'm like, alright, so I took 10k, 13k, I've done this a couple of times. Go over here to the fountain, drop the money in, take a few steps back, and you'll see this glow from the fountain itself, in which it'll then throw you a reward. It could be a perk, it could be a weapon, it could be a kill streak. Now, what's ironic is the first time I did this on stream, it gave me overkill, and I've been told that's a bug because there's actually no point in grabbing overkill as a perk as ground loot, because you could either spawn in with 2 weapons if you run that perk and your loadout, or you could just pick up 2 ARs on the ground. They're 2 primary weapons. So it was kind of funny that I got bamboozled by a perk that just is completely useless here in Warzone. But other than that, you guys probably shouldn't be seeing this perk. Hopefully you guys get something of more value. I know I did this a second time and I ended up getting a weapon or something, which wasn't too bad. But now if you head over to the keep area of the map, this is a pretty large building, so also watch your back. Maybe run a UAV when you walk in here, maybe have a heartbeat sensor. There could be enemies camping around in the corners and on top of shelves. I run into them and it just blows my mind that the map is nearly brand new and there's people out there that are already sweating their balls off by doing nothing but camping, right? I mean, that's just classic Call of Duty for you, which is hilarious. But what you want to do is find 2 wine bottles at least here in this building. They could be anywhere. They could be near the church. They could be just sitting on a desk somewhere. They could be actually in some of the bars that you'll find throughout the building. Just search the best that you can for a wine bottle, and you'll get an interact button when you walk near one, so it's not that difficult. It's not like one of those things where you walk past it, there's no prompt to pick it up, and you could just grab it and have no idea that you have it. And also keep in mind that if you grab a wine bottle but then die completely, the bottle will just drop next to your weapons. It's loot. So keep in mind that if you guys do find the wine bottle but then die, you're gonna have to go back and pick it up or find another one. But hey, if you kill an enemy that has one, take advantage of that too. So you want to take 2 wine bottles that you find here upstairs, just place them right here on this shelf, and it'll open a secret room. Heavy Dead of the Night vibes, of course, from this Easter egg here. And inside this room, there'll be a bunch of gold items. We're talking gold camo riot shields, gold weapons, legendary blueprints. There isn't like a special blueprint or anything that you can pick up and then you permanently unlock it for the remainder of your Warzone career like we had with other Warzone Easter eggs in the past, but this is just a good opportunity to get your hands on some decent loot if you just can't find anything else or don't have enough money for your loadout. Take advantage of this because it really doesn't hurt. Now, the next Easter egg is actually required for one of the challenges in this Mercenaries of Fortune event. There are 8 challenges total, so let's break them down. Starting off with one of the more obscure ones, Pocket Sand. It wants you to dig up 3 piles of buried treasure here on Fortune's Keep, but you need a shovel to do so. Now, you can find shovels at different locations here on the map. There's one at the graveyard that's there every single time, or you can also kill an enemy and he might have one, because again, it's like the wine bottle where if you die with one of these items, it'll just drop next to your loot upon death. And you can also find a shovel near the Smuggler's Cove. It'll be lined up next to a boat. There's shovels in a number of different locations around the map. Just pick one up wherever you can and head over here near the Smuggler's Cove here towards the water. And these are some of the guaranteed spawns for the buried treasures. So just walk up to it, hit interact, and boom, it'll just give you some loot. It can give you some armor plates, a satchel, a gas mask, a legendary weapon. I was even getting Cold War blueprints, right? Like the Donnie Darko blueprint or one of the new snipers. I mean, it was just completely random. But yeah, there are plenty of little dig sites here at the Smuggler's Cove. Not that hard to find. What I'm unaware of though is if an enemy actually digs it up, can you then not dig it up for the remainder of that match? That's what I'm not really clear on. If you guys know the answer to that, feel free to let me know down below in the comments. But you then unlock a weapon charm for doing this little Easter egg. So definitely not too difficult, and I think the only tricky part is making sure you grab a shovel and just don't die with it. Make sure you survive and manage to make your way over to the Smuggler's Cove. But the next challenge is called Money Bags. Collect $100,000 on Fortune's Keep, in which you will then unlock a sticker. I know, a pretty silly reward, right? But getting $100,000 really isn't that hard. You'll get that in literally no time. Play like a good couple of matches of Fortune's Keep and get as much money as you can. I don't think it stacks amongst your team though. It is an individual challenge from my understanding. So just make sure you go ahead and loot as much as you can. There's gold everywhere you can grab. I mean, it's fairly easy to get money on this map. So I think $100,000 might sound scary to you right now, but it's really, really easy to do so. So it's all about playtime. Just hop on a Fortune's Keep and have the best time that you possibly can. Loot your enemies, loot as many chests as you can, and you'll get this done in the flip of a switch. The only problem I have with this event though is that you just don't get pop-ups when you finish a challenge. At least I didn't on PC. Let me know if you guys did on PlayStation or Xbox, but usually with other Warzone events, you would do a challenge, even with Operation Monarch, right? Godzilla and Kong. You would do a challenge and it would pop up on your screen exactly what you did, what you unlocked for doing so, but that just doesn't work for Mercenaries of Fortune. Maybe it's just a bug on my end. I'm just not sure. But we then have the Shopping Spree Challenge, requiring you to purchase 5 items from the Black Market Station. I actually really like this challenge, so what you want to do is find these specially marked contracts here on Fortune's Keep. There's usually only 2 or 3 max that I could find on my mini-map when I first start a game. You want to go over to this contract, grab it, and all you have to do is simple. You want to go ahead and just follow where the marker goes. So the marker's going to jump to another area of the map. Just go over to that location and boom, you'll just find a Black Market Station sitting right there for you. I don't know if other enemies can interact with it after you finish this challenge, but it's the same challenge in every single game. Nothing too crazy at all. You just want to go ahead and find the Black Market Station. When you go up to it, you'll see a bunch of very spicy items that you can buy. I mean, we're looking at cool rewards like a sequencer grenade, which actually creates the Black Ops numbers effect on your enemy's screen if you throw it at them. I absolutely love using those, which is awesome. It was brought to my attention that if you have subtitles on and you actually read the numbers that get displayed in your subtitles, they can actually be translated to messages. Now, I believe the way that it was decoded is that the letter A represents 1, the letter B represents 2, so it's very easy to translate, and some of the number sequences we got spelled out words like bullseye, pay respects, nice vintage, which give us hints as to what Easter eggs there are here on the map. So shout out to the folks over on Geeky Pastimes Discord server for actually figuring this out. But you can also buy Nebula 5 miniguns, Foresight, which is really important to see where your final circle is going to be. You have to call that in like a kill streak, then it's permanent for the rest of your game. You can buy Specialist bonus and even redacted blueprints with very good attachments, right? Definitely a really cool little thing you can do here on Fortune's Keep. If you have enough money to buy 5 things at once, definitely go for it. Like buy 2 sequencer grenades, buy Foresight, buy a weapon. Make sure you have a decent amount of money when you actually go up to this, unless you want to go ahead and do this challenge again in a separate match, to make sure you buy 5 total items from this black market. Now, for doing this, you unlock a weapon reticle. Definitely nothing too crazy, but I think the challenge is still worth doing. Next up, have the Cutthroat Challenge. Get 50 player kills on Fortune's Keep, and you will then unlock the Fall false prospector weapon camo. Definitely pretty nice looking. I have to give credit where credit is due. Not only did High Moon Studios do a great job with Fortune's Keep, but I'm happy that if you guys just didn't want to go for gold camo and Vanguard, we kind of have a supplement here with this challenge event where you can get some gold looking camos, which look fantastic and do work in Warzone already. You can use it in Vanguard or Warzone. That's about it. But this challenge is relatively straightforward. Just play the game. That's the best advice I can give you. And maybe at the start of a match, drop in your graveyard or one of the hotspots and get a couple of cheeky kills at the very start of your match. I've had games where I just drop in at a hotspot. I'm getting 3 to 5 kills in like 30 seconds. It's ridiculous. And I think there's a lot of people out there that are unfamiliar with the map. Therefore, the lobbies are a little bit easier. I will talk more about why I think that is later in this video. But I'm also surprised that the final rewards for this event weren't the camos, but instead some of the individual rewards for some of the challenges are the camos, which is interesting. Definitely wouldn't have expected that, but happy for that nonetheless. So if you want to come into this challenge just for the camos, you can do that and not have to worry about any of the other challenges as a part of this event. But next up, have Minted, hopping over here into Caldera now. So this requires you to open a mercenary vault 3 times. Now what's weird about this though is that I only opened up one and the challenge got completed. So I'm assuming what it means is when you open up one of the mercenary vaults, it opens up 3 doors that are down in your area. So I guess that counts automatically. I'm a bit confused on that, but maybe they'll change the wording of it at some point this weekend to where it says open up 1 mercenary vault. It's a bit unclear, but hey, 1 is 1. So definitely not too hard to do at all. And what you have to do is find a golden access key card. This is actually the trickiest part of this little Easter egg because there actually isn't a guaranteed way to find the golden key card. It's not like some other Warzone Easter eggs from the past where you go to a specific spot or hit something up and then boom, you'll get the key card. No, it can be found in random loot or in enemy stashes. So if you kill an enemy that might have one, you could take it from them. Similar to the wine bottles, the shovel. That's exactly how this works. It's a very RNG driven challenge. I guess that's a good thing that you only have to open up 1 vault to finish the challenge though. Can't complain about that at all. Now I tried looting underground, kind of where the transit systems are, where the actual bunkers are at, to see if it's a higher chance of getting a golden key card, and I just wasn't successful. However, we did loot some golden key cards from random chests that were somewhat nearby but above ground and like maybe a couple of feet away. So it's just a matter of trial and error. Just keep playing Caldera until you could find one, and the RNG I believe is the same for both regular Battle Royale and Plunder. But the vaults themselves are located in very easy to spot locations on your map. They're circled in gold, and that's exactly where the transit systems are. So just go over to where those transit tunnels are, hop in there, and you'll find the golden bunker doors right there downstairs. Very simple to find, definitely isn't hard whatsoever. Now you do get an emblem for opening up these vaults, and I think what's smart to do is to wait until overtime. If you're playing Plunder, you can actually use these vaults as a strat to easily get the lead and win a game of Golden Plunder, which you actually have to do here for this next challenge. We have a challenge called Gilded Victor, which asks you to win 1 game of Golden Plunder. Doesn't sound that hard, right? But for some reason, this mode has been just unbelievable. I can't even put it in words how sweaty it's been. It's a lot of fun. The mode definitely is promising. It's essentially like a 25-minute match of Plunder. That's how long some of these games go because the cap is at 5 mil instead of 1 mil. So you won't hit overtime until somebody gets $5 million. And then after that, you'll get, another couple of minutes in overtime. But if you're close to first place, you're neck and neck with the first place team, then go ahead and grab a golden key card and just wait until you can get into an overtime section, and then go ahead and open up all these chests in the bunker, which can give you a very easy advantage. Similar strat to what people actually did with the bunkers over on Verdansk. Now, I'm not sure what it is about this LTM. I guess people out there just decided to sweat Plunder out for whatever reason this season. You'll see hundreds, and I mean hundreds, of TTV clan tag sweats, G Fuel Gigachads, people bunny hopping, using the new meta, using rose skins. It is just unreal, and if there's any time I ever experienced like the absolute sweatiest Warzone sessions, it's definitely been with Golden Plunder. It is hilarious. Can't even be mad about it. It's just funny to me. It's absolutely comedic, but Storage Town is definitely a hotspot to easily catch the lead in kills. You take everybody's money. Not that bad, but upon winning a game of Golden Plunder, you will get an animated calling card. Now, if you guys are like, crap, the map's too big, I gotta get over to where the king is, and it's too far away, definitely take advantage of the underground transit systems, in which you can very quickly teleport to any area of the map, as long as it's in like a circle. You have to like go in a certain direction around the map, but you can get very quickly to your next destination and catch up to wherever the king is at. But speaking of Storage Town, we then have the challenge called called Storing Bodies. Get 100 kills in Storage Town, the brand new point of interest here in Caldera, which has been remastered from Verdansk. So haha, funny, Verdansk got remastered here in Season 4, technically. But upon doing this challenge, you will then unlock the Death Prospector weapon camo, which also looks fantastic. So once again, there are 2 unlockable camos as a part of this event, which you can go for exclusively if you want. You don't have to do any of the other challenges to get your hands on these camos. But 100 kills in Storage Town, I know probably sounds a little scary, but the best bet is Golden Plunder, man. I'm telling you, we're talking about guaranteed 15 to 20 bomb games as long as you drop there and stay there for as long as you can. Put attack insert over there because for some reason, there is an abysmal spawn point. If you go ahead and die out at Storage Town, there is an abysmal spawn point right behind Storage Town that you'll get very commonly. And for some reason, it just caters to campers because you have people out there that are camping on the cliffs and the rocks kind of outside the outskirts of Storage Town, and they'll beam you every single time. With the meta of the NZ, the new LMG, people out there are absolutely destroying everybody that spawns back in before you even get to blink. You're getting shot out of the sky constantly. So this one is definitely a very frustrating challenge for that reason, but other than that, if you could hold your ground with the squad at Storage Town, you can get a lot of kills in a single match. Also considering how long the matches are of Golden Plunder, you have plenty of time to get your 100 kills. But that leads me to the final challenge of this event, last but definitely not least, the trickiest one yet, called Road Trip, right? And this requires you to get 25 kills with a vehicle. Doesn't sound complicated, right? You can use a helicopter, you can use the new armored SUVs with turrets on them, or you can just run people over. It doesn't sound that hard, but trust me when I tell you, it's easier said than done. And maybe it's because of how sweaty everybody is in Golden Plunder. I mean, you could try this in Fortune's Keep. I know I did and got a couple of cheeky kills, but Fortune's Keep is a bit tight to where it's not that easy to drive a bunch of SUVs or the big trucks in. Maybe you can use an ATV at Fortune's Keep to get a couple of kills, but other than that, you'll see the most amount of people here in Golden Plunder. If you can manage to get a vehicle in this area, then try your best to run as many people over as you can. The turrets are absolutely unacceptable on the actual chopper and the new armored SUVs. They do nothing. It's like you shoot an enemy point blank and the bullets go right through them. They're weak. So unless somebody is standing still so you can get an easy kill, it's just best to try to run them over with whatever vehicle that you can. And I honestly think this is the only lackluster challenge as a part of this event because it kind of breaks immersion of Warzone. You have to actually do something completely different from what you usually would. Unless you typically drive vehicles around and run people over, this challenge makes you just stop what you're doing, put everything down, and just drive around with cars or a helicopter to hit people. I mean, it's not a challenge where you can maybe naturally do. I very rarely hop in vehicles anyway to run anybody over, so this one was definitely a frustrating one, and I think took the most amount of time in comparison to any other challenge here on the map. I would have rather had a challenge that said get 200 kills in Storage Town instead of running over 25 people on either of these maps. But upon doing that, you then get a weapon charm, and that is going to be it. That is the entirety of the Mercenaries of Fortune event, which you only have a good 11-12 days left to actually complete. Upon doing all the challenges though, you will then unlock a gold skin for the new armored SUV. The armored SUV is a bit tough to control. I'm not really a fan of it, and the turret on it is absolutely useless, so I'm not sure if you guys are going to be using the skin or not, but hey, you get 2 unlockable camos for taking part in 2 of these challenges. Definitely a huge fan of that at the end of the day. Now, after completing this event, I wasn't able to actually click on the event tab at the main menu. I was able to do so before beating the event, but then after that, it would just kick me out constantly, so not sure if that's a bug right now with the event itself, but it could be an indication that you did actually complete all of the challenges. But that is about it. This has been dkdynamite. Leave our thoughts down below in the comment section. What are your thoughts on all the secrets and Easter eggs here in the Mercenaries of Fortune event? What are your thoughts on Fortune's Keep and the 2 unlockable camos? Really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everybody.